Hello and welcome to today's reading. My intention is to bring you words of guidance, activation, and healing through my voice. So let's see what the cards have for us today. We'll get started. One jumped right away with a classic tarot deck. So we have the moon, not the most comfortable energy to be in, a lot of darkness, as seems to be the theme lately, separating, well, rather reconciling opposites. And we are dealing with the emotional realms, the underworld. So that's where we're starting. Luckily, this is just a phase and will soon pass. But we have to allow these cycles to play out so that we can become untethered from them. We have the tower in reverse, more tree imagery, and the two of wands. So again, we kind of have these polarized forces coming together and finding new solutions. The tower reversed. These things are falling away. They needed to go, and we are on the other side of that, landing on our feet. But we still do need to release that extra energy into the ground, into the earth, into the ether, so it no longer is keeping us bound to old patterns, old cycles, old mental traps. So let's just shake that out, unbind ourselves, get clarity in the peace and quiet of the moonlight and the starlight. Because we have a new direction unfolding. We don't need to know all of the details yet, but I see at the bottom of the wand it's dark, and then we're rising into the light. We have this new direction, a new vision. We're seeing with a fuller spectrum on the other side of this moon tower moment. But for now, we just kind of have to take it at its own pace, no rushing. This is the early stages of change and movement and inspiration. And now we have the Six of Wands reversed. I don't know why I'm reading reversals. Like, that's something I typically do. But we're at, it just needs a little more attention. So with the Six of Wands reversed, um we're seeing again this theme of in the dark, being in the dark and seeing the light, a way out. We have this rainbow again. This is something we're headed towards. It's shining a light on these seemingly broken, shattered pieces that we've been transforming. The remnants of the tower laying flat. Oh, are these swords? Yeah, they're swords. Ha ha. So, the mental health being, in shambles, skewed towards the dark, gaining a new perspective. I'm just really drawn to seeing the full spectrum of things, and that always darkest before the dawn. It might not be actually true, but it is a fun metaphor. Um, I had three more pop out. Of course, it's always one more than what I asked. 10 of Pentacles. So that good is coming. We just had to trim the fat on our lives. Um the, the growth on the top of the tree was dead, dying. Snags are very dangerous. So when we have firefighters going out and doing the wildland fighting, it's not so much the fires that will kill people, but the decaying, the dead branches that are hanging and can, impale people. So, kind of like unintentional emotional projection and volatility. Sometimes we have to buck up a little loudly to gain a little clarity. Um, and that's okay. It needed to go. It needed to be brought into your awareness. I like that confirmation with the Son of Wands. Awareness. I'm seeing this halo around his head, this clarity, this incoming knowledge. It's this is fire energy. It's very expansive. So we have this illumination coming to us. And who better to usher it in than the High Priestess? More moon energy, but this moon is transformed. We have that gold moon and the silver moon. Um, these seemingly opposing forces, masculine and feminine, coming together. Like with the two of wands there. And the High Priestess sees all of this going in, and we have to connect with her in those dark spaces, those dark places. This is a majestic nighttime energy in the silence. And that's where we're going to find that clarity, those answers, coming into that new perspective. Because the High Priestess is able to watch in silence as things unfold, not making a big show of things, gathering information, intuition, unseen realms, very psychic kitty cats. So, yay! Let's go a little further in with the dirt depth. Let's bring some further guidance. I don't know how to say it. Ugh. So, as we are lying in wait, tending the shambles of this former life, this former love, this thing that we have lost, as we're picking up the pieces of what was an unsustainable foundation, can I have a guide step forward as we are shifting our perspective? Oh, goodness. Of course, it's something I'm not going to know how to say. These are all words that I've read a million times, but haven't necessarily said out loud. So you're going to have to excuse my pronunciation. I'm sure you know what I mean, especially when it comes to herbs and things. All right. So, Demena. So we have this open window. I'm thinking of that saying when one door closes, um, God opens a window or another window opens. Or maybe it's another door, but you know what I mean. It's not the last opportunity. Um, a motto I've been living by lately is that perceived rejection is divine protection. What's meant for you will be for you, and what is no longer in our lives, we thank for the lessons, the service that they have done for us, and we have to release it, move on. Easier said than done, but I have the feeling Demena is going to be able. Damiana. Ooh, I like that better. Anyways, enough goofing. Let's find out what she's all about. Damiana, the tingle maker. Damiana is romantic. Damiana sees us in our most intimate moments. We smell their perfume, a call to sensuality. A call to sensuality and slow play. Damiana is expansive and cellular. They elongate the quiet in us until the gasp, scream, moan, or whisper must come out. Damiana slows so that building, lengthening, and softening can happen. Damiana is a dream traveler, a friend of mugwort. They help you integrate and disparate parts of your life by expanding your memory, deepening your dream state, and carrying these dreams to you in the morning. If you find your days running faster than you can keep up with, ask Damiana to join the race, and they will set your pace at a meaningful and luxurious gait. Damiana is your friend if you live in your head. That Six of Swords says we might be a little too in our heads, potentially wallowing in the depths and despair. They bring both energy and spirit down into your pelvis, into the earth. So we're getting grounded, releasing from the pelvis. A lot of trauma stored in there. So just release down into your pelvis, into the earth. Damiana will allow femme energy to rise and spread. The high priestess would like that very much. They hold your center in the root and base of your body so that you can open, stretch out, and lean into things without feeling untethered. Damiana has an affinity with the pituitary gland. When invited in, they allow the messaging throughout your body to happen more clearly. It lubricates and tones the organs of your pelvis, allowing for more movement, more creativity, and more connections. The pelvis, the bowl of our body, is where all the blood and energy pass through as it circulates. If left unattended or out of balance, this is the place where much congestion and stagnancy can occur. Damiana says slide down into the languid and divine. Ooh, tingle maker indeed. So really getting in touch with that divine feminine creativity, which has been so misunderstood and misrepresented and oppressed for quite a while. So lots of tending to do into this wound. I was meditating right before this and asking for guidance, and I was unable to get anything particularly tangible, but I was moving around a lot of energy, particularly in the pelvic bowl and in the throat and solar plexus areas. So, hopefully you can pick up on some of those jujubes. That was my intention for this transformation. Let's pull another card. All right, let's go to the alchemy deck. See what's at play here in our soul alchemy. Ooh, gold, gold, turning lead into gold. The sun. I had mentioned the moons earlier, that transformation. Well, I am here for it. Oh, and that solar plexus energy I just mentioned. Yeah. All right, little John Alfio moment. Illumination, splendor, culmination. The alchemist's gold is no ordinary gold. It is not found in rings or coins or necklaces. It is a substance buried deep within, sometimes referred to as the golds of the wise, philosophic gold, the ethereal stone, or the divine quintessence, among countless other names. For our purposes, we seek not the metal, but the mystical essence within each alchemist. How do we recognize it? It mimics qualities of the metal itself, soft and radiant, and its planetary counterpart, the sun, warm and bright. It's no wonder gold is associated with the heart. When this card arrives, there is something of incredible value at hand. It is marvelous and rare. Cherish it. Get to know its properties and its source. The gold card carries a distinct shadow. If mistaken for a purely physical material, it can lead to greed and excess, causing the alchemist to lose their way. Reverence is the key. So, finding the light, finding the gold, finding the soft spot where we can radiate. It's hard when we're in the dark, in that void state, to remember the warmth and vibrancy of the sun. It can even feel oppressive, but this isn't an oppressive energy. It's very malleable, actually. But we're doing the alchemy, the soul alchemy, the hard work. We're really transforming things here. Congratulations, guys. We're doing it. Woo! Woo! Um, mic voice, a little more restrained. Haven't found the flow just yet, but we're working on it. And we'll get one more before we close out tonight's session. Mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Kind of going back to the gifts of those who have done us wrong, coming from that tower moment. We're able to see what no longer works for us, what we'll no longer accept in our lives. And sometimes we don't know how to set those boundaries until they're staring us in the face and show us how important they are to us. I'm drawn to the stillness of the water, going to this little pause break of transformation. You don't see too much in heavily activated, shaken water, but when there is stillness, you're able to get a more clear reflection. There's some roses on here, so this is a heart opening activation. Who or what is triggering you? The filter of our own experience is how we experience life 90% of the time, through our own projections. When someone reminds us of an unhealed experience, we get triggered. Often, it's an unconscious thing. People and situations can trigger our mirrors to reflect back to us what we believe to be true about life, the universe, and ourselves. Mirrors pointing to our shadow and our light. Mirrors revealing the parts of us that are yet to be accepted, witnessed, or loved. This card is guiding you to look closely at what experiences or people are currently triggering in you and what they could be mirroring back to you. So in these situations, these triggers, these tower moments are coming up for us. These things aren't happening to us. This is a moment of soul growth, transformation, a shift in perspective, and really it's one of those silver lining things. So when we get through this, we're not even going to recognize what we were before in the most beautiful way. And now we're coming to close today's session with the Oracle of the Unicorns. So what is a parting message for today? Courage. You are safe. Fear is an illusion. And set strong boundaries. We were just talking about boundaries. So that's always fun work to do, right? Boundary work. Ooh. Are they too rigid? Are you too set in your ways with too many walls so people can't go in? Or are we maybe a little too loose, overgiving? We need to come and find a balance there for solid boundaries. And remember that boundaries are measures we put to protect ourselves. They're not against anyone else. These are for you, not against other people. I feel like that shift is in thinking is useful. So the unicorns are here to remind us that through these dark and trying times that you are being held and guided every step of the way. And they are here to help bring forward courage in your energetic body. Rest easy knowing you are being held and guided. And try to release any tether to any specific outcome. Be strong, and time is on your side. I was thinking the Rolling Stones song, but I don't think I'm ready to sing on this channel. But maybe you're singing it in your head right now. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me today. Hold fast. You got this. And much love. Bye.